crazy rarities in Infinite Forbidden, a new flip effect archetype, Rarity Collection 3, Speed Duel discontinued, maxi reprinted in the TCG, and most importantly, an actual Forbidden and limited list communication from Konami. This week has been the craziest week in Yu-Gi-Oh! That I can remember, and we have to break it down. But before we begin, only 28.5% of you are subscribed. So to the 71.5% watching here, hit the sub button and like the video. Let's kick it off. So we've had a crazy week. If you are on Twitter, you've seen people and pro players go crazy over tons of announcements this week that just shook up the game, and ahead of the two biggest tournaments in the year, which are the NAWCQ and EUWCQ, obviously things are getting heated because we are getting to the crunch time of the most important tournaments of the year. So as I'm recording this, some in Infinite Forbidden rarities have been revealed, but mostly have been revealed through vendors already selling the cards with a full set list of the rarities, and this is how most people found out about the rarities of the entire Infinite Forbidden set. Usually content creators will make videos revealing the archetypes and then open up the packs today, but in this case the rarities have been leaked a little bit earlier, it seems like. So this was the biggest and first announcement of the week, that all Fiendsmith cards, the supposed tier 0 engine of the best deck of the NAWCQ and EUWCQ season, are mostly secret rares. Fiendsmith Engraver, which is the heart of the engine, Fiendsmith Requiem, which is the Link 1, and Fiendsmith Tract, all required to run this engine, are all secret rares. In addition to that, the White Forest archetype also has 3 secret rares and 3 more ultra rares. Even though it's not super competitive, those are still going to be really expensive. And additional staples like the Silhouette Rabbit and of course mul-charmy Perulia being secret rares that are probably going to see play as well. And the new trap card Dominus Purge, which is another Ash Blossom that you can activate from the hand, also secret rare. So basically, all the good cards in the set are secret, which means they're all going to be expensive. And while in other times of the year, this might have not been a big deal, now Infinite Forbidden releases the weekend of the NAWCQ, which means that vendors are going to be able to charge a lot of money. And we are seeing that over on TCG Player with Fiendsmith Engraver being sold at $100 a copy, which is crazy. So yeah, this was the first sort of like L from Konami this week, printing all the good cards in high rarity, which obviously screws a lot of players out of playing these engines. Later in this video, we're going to find out that there's not going to be a ban list before these events, so Snake Eye Fiendsmith is the tier 0 deck. And in addition to the rarities, we also got a new flip effect archetype for the first time in a long time, called Mimigul. It's a TCG exclusive archetype that's going to be released in Infinite Forbidden, then another wave in Rage of the Abyss, and it's just funny that flip effects are back to Yu-Gi-Oh! But besides that, we got that out of the way, and then Konami dropped a huge bomb in Rarity Collection 3, or rather, the Quarter Century Bonanza. This is what they're calling it now, just to not call it Rarity Collection 3, which basically it is. It was announced as a 78 card set, with the same structure basically as Rarity Collection 2 and 1. You get multiple reprints of cards in multiple rarities. And they also announced Promethean Princess, Bestower of Flames, a card that really needs a reprint, the Bellstar, the Black Witch, which we thought was going to be in the tins, but it's not going to be in the tins, and Super Polymerization. In addition to that, they also announced that they're sort of creating a reserved list, sort of like Magic the Gathering, where they actually officially announced that cards previously printed in Quarter Century Secret Rare are not going to be reprinted in this rarity, which means that the card I just mentioned, Princess, Diabellstar, and Super Poly, which all have QCR printings, are not actually going to have QCR printings in this set. So it's just not going to be all the rarities. Some of them are going to have QCRs and some not. It's really, really weird. And they announced that the 25th anniversary Quarter Century Secret Rare is coming to an end, and this is one of the last chances to get it. It's probably going to be back in the 30th anniversary of Yu-Gi-Oh! But this could be one of the last QCR sets. In addition to that, they announced that in this set, there's going to be one slot in each pack dedicated to a 200 card pool of quote-unquote nostalgia cards. This could be cards that are just way in the past of Yu-Gi-Oh! But also really important cards like Trap Dust Shoot, Heavy Storm, Magical Android, cards that really need a reprint for older formats. That will be a huge win. even though in this set they only come in Quarter Century and Platinum Secret Rare. So yeah, another Rarity collection announced a day after a lot of rarities leaked from Infinite Forbidden, which was crazy, but it didn't end there. A new Speed Duel product was announced, Battle City Finals, and with that, an announcement that Speed Duel as a format is going to be discontinued. If you don't know what Speed Duel is, it's been around for a few years, sort of like a miniaturized size version of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like a 20 card deck, 3 monster zones, really fast duels, really simple. They have their own card pool with like limited cards and stuff like that. And seemingly it hasn't been that popular, so they're killing it, maybe bringing Rush Duel into the TCG. That could be really cool. Currently it's only in Japan. So yeah, Speed Duel said, what could go wrong? But it has a maxi reprint. Maxi, the most influential and arguably the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Not legal in the TCG, by the way, is gonna get its first reprint since 2017. That's more than 7 years. And without the question, why? Because we're getting things like mul-charmy Perulia, which are kind of mimicking Maxi, and we'll talk about that because we're actually getting another one. Is it coming back? Why do they need to print it right now? Do they want to give access to people playing older formats? That will be amazing. But I think it was a huge surprise to see the first Maxi reprint in 7 years this week. But it's not even over yet. A day after, Konami actually comes out with a post announcing a possible ban list date. This has not happened since I came back into the game. Ever since I came back into the game, it was sort of like, it will be released in a few months. Once upon a time, it was every 6 months and you had a date. In the OCG, you have dates for ban lists, but Konami just says outright, probably because of the entire media storm over on Twitter this past week because of all the aforementioned stuff, they come out and say the ban list is going to be late August. So what does that mean? Again, previously going back to Fiendsmith rarities and the NAWCQ, EUWCQ situation, there's not going to be a ban list. Fiendsmith Snake Eye is the best deck. It's going to be a tier 0 deck. Snake Eye is going to be fully legal, and people now have to realize that this is the format they're going into. And if you want to win, you have to buy Fiendsmith. So that really sucks on one hand. On the other hand, people have been really happy with the fact that Konami actually communicates to the players, because that doesn't really happen. So kudos to Konami for communicating, but I don't think that as a consumer base, we should be patting them on the back for doing something that is extremely basic, and also doing it really vague because they didn't even give out a date. What this also means is that between the NAWCQ and EUWCQ and the World Championship taking place in September 7th, there is going to be a ban list between that. And because the format for Worlds is combined out of the TCG and OCG formats, it's going to be an entirely new ban list. But it's not over yet, because afterwards, Konami comes out and releases, or rather announces, a new card from Rage of the Abyss. That's set currently being announced in the OCG, the set after Infinite Forbidden, another mul-charmy card. It's called mul-charmy Fuwaros, probably a play on words on Albatross. It's a level 4 winged beast monster that is another mul-charmy. Remember where we thought mul-charmy Perulia was maxi? Well, I guess again, this card says, discard this card if you control no cards, of course. Each time your opponent summons from the deck or extra deck, you immediately draw 1 card. So this is essentially a much better version of mul-charmy Perulia, but a worse version of Maxi. And I've been comparing it to Konami trying to put out a fire using fuel, because they're creating crazy 1-card combos, crazy formats where you absolutely lose on the spot going second, and then make a Maxi only for going second, which could be a good thing. A lot of people are liking it. I'm not 100% sure I like it, because again, there's an inherent design problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, where now they're trying to solve it with the mul-charmy cards, and eventually probably they're gonna maybe ban Maxi. So they're splitting up Maxi into 3 or more cards, currently 2 mul-charmy monsters, but they're breaking down the effect of Maxi to multiple monsters, making it only going second, because again, going first, doing full combo, and then activating Maxi on top of it is just an FTK. So this could be a good thing or a bad thing. I think, in my personal opinion, it's going to be really helpful going second. But on the other hand, I would rather see less 1-card combo FTKs design out of Konami, banning the right cards, and just lowering the power level of the game a little bit so that people could go second. And yeah, this was this week. It was absolutely insane. I've been talking for like 13 minutes now and haven't stopped, because there has so much that has happened. There's also been a new Blue Eye structure deck announced in the OCG. There's a lot of really crazy stuff, and maybe it's not over yet. We'll see. At least we know there's no ban list until late August. That's important. Leave your comments below on the state of the game, mul-charmy, Furaros, the Infinite Forbidden Rarities, Rarity Collection 3. It's been crazy. Peace out.